Hello, good morning to everybody. Good morning. I wanted to post this picture up here. Last night I found some unique pictures on the internet and I wanted to enhance them, make those pictures, add color to them and things like that. Some of the pictures I actually enlarge this way people can see them. Good morning to everybody. There's a place down here, I don't know what this is, comments, friends. But this morning, good morning to you. This morning, I wanted to essentially talk about what I see on television and what you hear on TV. This morning you heard about, I believe Dan Rather being fired, PBS. It's just a lot of stuff that is going on sexually, and a lot of the crimes and things like this. A lot of the, sexual things that you hear about, it's men doing this stuff. It's guys, doing this. And I put this picture up here to kind of symbolize, so that people can understand that women also too need to be strong and also try and be responsible too for their own safety. For example, if you're the only female and it's a bunch of dudes, you probably shouldn't go because you already know what time it is, and stuff like that. I don't really have that problem with dudes trying to talk to me in no kind of sexual way, or I just don't have that problem with dudes like that. I'm happy with the man I'm with, for sure. But what I wanted to talk about is, the sexual things that you see on TV and you hear about, and it's sad. And I do not know why men do this. Yes, ladies have done it also. You hear about in schools and all this kind of stuff. Both are crimes, however you may see it or look at it. But I promise you, if women went around, touching dudes or doing this kind of stuff, some dudes say they would like it or whatever, whatever. But, but then some dudes would call women crazy if we acted out, out of turn or whatever some dudes say or whatever. I think it's a societal issue, and as things become more sexualized, television, the internet, y'all know what I'm talking about, and how people raise their kids and what they see. So, but the stuff that happens in society, it is sad. And to see prominent, whether it's news reporters, people in business, and you look at the list, and it's dudes committing these crimes against females. And, dudes, you put on this earth to love a woman, not beat a woman, not tell somebody what to do. I listened to a man last night, and he talked about how, men are supposed to be leaders in their household and stuff like that. And it doesn't mean that a man is to tell a woman what to do. In other words, you're supposed to help. And I just tell people, if you're going to have a happy life, the way you do stuff is 50-50. And then you don't have to worry about somebody telling you what to do or, and he talked about, some European way of thinking about how people should be leaders and stuff like this. But in our society, on the news and stuff like that, we don't see that right now. We see sexual stuff that doesn't make sense. You got women sleeping with school kids. You have, you have dudes committing crimes against women, but you also have dudes saying that why do women wait? Some women have waited 40, 50 years later. Should there be a statute of limitations? There's a lot of stuff that dudes have talked about too. You have to think about some things that, are all stories true? We don't know. There are a lot of things that dudes say too that, some women, may put things out on the internet and it was a consensual relationship. And then, and so I think sometimes you have to watch that too. But I think in whole our society and the stuff that you see on TV, it's scary. And women want to be in a place, good morning, where they feel safe. I see you. Where they feel safe. And if they don't feel safe in the workplace, they're not going to want to be there. Good morning to everybody. They're not going to want to be there. Whether you're a woman or a man, dudes really don't, I'm not saying that they don't deal with sexual advances or stuff like that. I'm not saying that. But you don't hear about people, if John is walking down the street, you don't hear about somebody grabbing John. You know what I'm saying? But they're more likely to grab Sarah. I'm just using names, vague names. All I'm saying is that the society we live in, women have every right to be afraid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that dudes don't deal with stuff, but I don't think that dudes are as intimidated. They're not really intimidated by females, whereas a female is intimidated by a man. I guess if that makes sense. And women, if they say no, a lot of times dudes don't understand that. They don't understand what the word no is. Or dudes think because a female doesn't, or they won't sleep with you on the first day, that they're a loser. Or all this kind of stuff. It's society, not just dudes. You just think about all the stuff that goes on in our society now, and with people getting in trouble and folks settling lawsuits in the past, and and you start to piece stuff together, and it's like, okay, you look at the various what they call hush money or whatever. You think, good morning to everybody, you think that man, this happened in the past and these people got money to be quiet. There's a reason for that. Now you see, and then all these TV stations and studios and whatever, they're letting people go. The biggest thing I wrote on the internet this morning was, and this is questions that you guys can write your answers in at the bottom. Do you think that the federal government should mandate the death penalty for men and women who commit sexual acts against the following: people with disabilities, the elderly, and children, if DNA proves that you did that? I'll repeat that again. Do you think that a person that commits a sexual act, and that include, I said children, do you think a person that commits a sexual act should receive the death penalty, especially if it's against somebody such as the elderly, disabled, children, or a person who did not, want the advancement, or something against their consent, and that, like you raped a person or something like that and DNA proves it? Do you think that states or the government should come down with strict penalties? In some countries they have really hard penalties. In Africa and other places, it's really tough. And do you think that America should look at adopting some laws considering, what they call, sexual violence, or in some countries it's serious? I mean, shoot, or do you think that people should be sent to places like Leavenworth Prison to do hard labor for the rest of their lives? Write your response. That's stuff that I was thinking about, especially after I woke up. I watch the news. That's, I like watching the news and different stuff and different programs. And I woke up and dumped on, Dan Rather, that comes on the news. Dan Rather, this guy, he's been on the news for a long time. I'm like, what? These are people that, you watch or you see on TV or whatever, and you don't think that people like this would commit, you just don't think so, man. And it's not just in secular society, religion. You have sexual crimes that have been going on for more than 50 years, more than 50 years. It's not just in secular society where sexual problems occur, especially with minors. And all industries um, and all businesses, including non-for-profit or what have you, uh, are putting steps in place to hopefully keep people safe on the job. And it's not just in the workplace that this kind of stuff happens, but I know that I have no mercy for people who commit crimes against people with disabilities, children, women, of course, that kind of stuff. Men also say, well, women, do stuff too. I did list that because on the news there was a woman who got caught sleeping with a kid. He was a kid at a school. And so that's stuff like that too. So it's not just dudes. And I wrote on there both women and men. So those were two options for people. And this, like I said, by DNA, if you have been proven by DNA to have committed a crime, I'm saying by DNA because I do know that people can be wrongly prosecuted for stuff they didn't do. So that leaves that window open too. But for people who are proven by DNA, do you think that they should receive the death penalty, or the second option is to be forced to work at Leavenworth prison or something like that? Should they be forced to work somewhere like that? Should they be forced to work at a place like Leavenworth prison for people who commit sexual acts against somebody that's unwarranted? I think that we have a problem in our society, not just in America, but just globally, and trafficking and just a lot of other things that deal with unwanted advances. Um, and I think women, uh, hopefully become smarter, and they are, and we are women. We have to be responsible too for our safety and who we get in cars with or go play, all this kind of stuff. So you have to think about your life and your safety, and not really trust anybody with your safety but yourself when it comes to whatever situation you find yourself in. And that's something that I do think about, my safety. And then as I get older, I think about that. And, but in our society, in the workplace, people don't feel safe. They just don't feel safe. And that has to change. And so, people go to their jobs and they report stuff and they say that things aren't getting done. Unions in certain circumstances definitely can be, if you live in a state where, it's unionized and all that kind of stuff, you can also report that to those agencies and other things like that. In Texas, it can be difficult because there are some, it's different here. And, so I also pray for people who do experience rape and other things that they didn't ask for. Um, it is so sad, but I hope that our society changes for the better. But it took all of this kind of stuff to um, it's taken this kind of stuff to shape our society. But I think that um, it has to change. It definitely has to change. And when you see all this, and I think I saw a thing on the internet that said, "This is me," or something in reference to it, or "it happened to me," some hashtag, where women and dudes have spoken about things over the internet and stuff that have happened to them. And then, and even, children, you have people writing on markers, writing marker and permanent marker on these flashcards and holding them up to a camera and stuff. So it's our society is messed up, especially when people want to sleep with kids and things like that. Um, it's sad. And even adults that have experienced stuff It's not just children. Adults have experienced that. And, sometimes when I talk to a man, um, it can be, I guess for my situation, I don't have a problem talking to dudes. I'm not intimidated by a man. Um, but a lot of women tell me that they are sometimes, and they're that, and so, it can be hard though. And I think, all the sexual, just a lot of the sexual stuff, and then, Tennessee, it's just a bunch of stuff that it's like, wow, I just, you just don't know. And it's just sad. And I definitely pray good morning to you, that our society can change for the better from the things that we see on TV, and the sexual, allegations and stuff that you hear women talk about. And some stuff was on 60 Minutes. I don't know if people have been watching that, but they've been talking about some stuff and how, as a society, we do need to try and do better. And men also play a role. Too, I think the NFL came out with something, or one organization came out with something called Lean In. Um, and so there's another organization called Girls Incorporated. They help women and, young girls and stuff, and talk to them about uh, you know things related to women. But as a society, we definitely, it's not just the organizations, everybody as a whole, we need to look out for each other, whether that's in the workplace or just out and about in general. So I'm just happy, with my life, and I just thank God every day, that, I just thank God every day that I do the best that I can to live. I try to treat people how they want to be treated. Um, I try not to be a problem in people's lives and things like that. Um, but I always, try to, again, excuse me, treat people right. And so that's what life is about. And sometimes you don't see that in our society. And you listen to women sometimes, and listen to them talking. A lot of them say that they don't feel that way. And they feel sometimes, especially by a man, that they don't feel loved by a man, that they feel like they're more of a trophy or an ornament or whatever. And, our society has gotten bad about a lot of things. One of them that I don't like sometimes from dudes is telling women that they look like objects, or, things like this, or, uh, I wonder, like, how do dudes come up with these references of calling, a vehicle she? She runs like, or whatever. Women too, we're not stupid, and we don't want to be named after objects and peaches and pears and whatever the hell, that's, you know, that's, I said, man, whatever. Sometimes if I told a dude, I said, if that's what you see, all right, whatever, because I'm a woman, I don't give a damn. But I just, sometimes the way dudes think, about stuff, sexually, it's different. Guys are different, ladies are different, but when it comes to that area, I think that dudes, for some reason, they, not all, but some, seem to be very aggressive when it comes to that area, because you hear all this stuff on TV. Um, and I'm not saying that women aren't either, but it's crazy, and I just pray that our society gets better, and that women can come forward and speak out about certain things, and that they don't feel afraid, about speaking out if something's happening to them, or anybody, men and women both. If there's something going on at your job that you don't like, it doesn't even have to be sexual. If there's something going on, whatever it is, um, racism, whatever, then you should speak out about it. So, the premise of this is just to speak out about, especially, things that that's inappropriate, in the workplace, or whatever, or wherever you may be. But I know it should change, and I hope it should change for the better, especially with all this stuff coming out on TV. So I definitely pray for everybody. I hope that everybody had a great Thanksgiving. If you had good food to eat, if you had fun over the holidays, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you had a great time. I certainly did. I know it's Christmas is coming around the corner. Um, I'm sure people will be getting the things they need if they have not already, or things that they want. That'll be fun. Today's it's going to be nice outside Dallas Fort Worth. Temperatures are going to be probably, the high is going to be 65 is what I saw on the news. So that's going to be pretty nice. At least for the next 10 days, it doesn't look cold. So that's fine for me. I don't like the cold. So I'm doing everything I can while it's warm, and taking care of everything that I can. God bless everybody. I hope that, again, you have fun. I hope you enjoy Christmas. I know kids, I know they're talking about school break, getting out for school and stuff because Christmas and the holidays and stuff. So, but I hope you have a good one, and just think, women and men both, be aware of your surroundings this holiday season, and just be careful. And definitely, God bless everybody. Good morning to you. I saw you pop up there. Good morning. But definitely, God bless everybody, and you have fun this holiday season. Both women and men stay strong.